What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another new hero review. Yes, it's Lele, and she is obviously another free hero after 2 days of the Chinese New Year event, or the spring event, whichever one you want to call it. I'm going to call it the Chinese New Year because it's a big event, right? And rightly so. You can imagine that they're going to have an epic that's also going to be very useful. And I'm going to say, Lele is looking solid, not just graphically. She does look quite kind of cute, and the bunny and stuff is cute, right? Wait. Does that mean that the Chinese New Year is it going to be of the hare or the bunny? Is that what it is? Is that even one? Is that even one? I don't know. Let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. Let's have a little look at her skills, what she's going to do for your team. Is she going to be useful? And who does she kind of compare to? I can tell you already, I'm kind of thinking she's going to compare to the likes of Daisy. But let's have a little look. Her basic hit, joyful hit. Deals 160% defense damage to a single enemy and steals 10% turn meter from the target. Now that turn meter deduction is nothing to be shied about. Like, you know, when that's paired with the likes of counterattack from Catherine, that can be really nice and very useful. Especially if, no, it won't be. It won't be. Ignore me, because if the target's just taking a turn, it's not going to be any good or better with counterattack. But it is good on the sense that we can pinpoint someone down that we want. You know, they may just be about to take a turn, and we can slightly pull that back. It does increase up to 15%, so it's not too bad. Her first active skill, Boisterous, removes overheated joy from all allies. We'll talk about that in a moment. Increases their turn meters by 15%, grants heal on them for 2 turns, and also extends the duration of all the attribute buffs on all allies by 1 turn. This is really, really nice. When we get to a final skill, you'll see why. Increases the turn meter granted by Boisterous to 25%. That's a big turn meter increase, and it's exclusive level 2, yes, but it is a nice one. It is a 4-turn cooldown though, however, so bear that in mind. That is, you know, sometimes we'd like to see this as free, but 4-turn is quite long. Now her passive, Lighted Firecrackers. Lele grants a shield on an ally by 18% of maximum health and overheated joy. So when she's putting the shield on our allies, they're going to be stuck with this overheated joy that we need to remove with Boisterous, okay? We need to remove that so that they can then further get the shield again. For 2 turns, if the ally gains 4 buffs in 1 turn while Lele is on the battlefield. The ally with overheated joy cannot trigger the Lighted Firecracks effect. They also cannot, you know, like I said, cannot get the shield back. So when we're buffing with our, say for instance, we used, hang on one moment, we'll get to that. Exclusive level 3 reduces the required buff layers of triggering Lighted Firecrackers to 2 layers, meaning she can buff it herself. But, you know, you're never going to really be using her by herself anyway. So we would need to, this would happen after buffing, and then we would need to use Boisterous. But her final skill, Jubilation Reigning, increases all allies' crit rate by 25% and crit damage by 30% for 2 turns, right? But exclusive level 1, it increases the crit rate to 50% and crit damage granted to 60%. These are big buffs. Big buffs. Big boy buffs. It can only be done every 4 turns. Now, obviously, once we've used this, it's going to go straight into a shield on allies as well. If we are using her with the likes of Catherine, using Consolidation and Counterattack. But if she's upgraded to exclusive 3, then it's gonna trigger this as well, and then we're gonna go straight into a Boisterous, with removing that overheated joy and extending the time of these buffs, crit rate up and crit damage up by 2 for an extra turn. And remember, it is only attribute buffs that counts on, so it won't count for the likes of shields. So bear that in mind as well. Consolidation will be increased for another turn, those kind of things. So, you know, she's looking very good for an epic. She's a very good support. I really do, like, you know, I feel like she can play parts, especially in early teams, hugely, with that crit rate up, crit damage up as well, you know, especially exclusive 1, 50% and 60%. It's a lot of damage. Not only that, but she's granting shields by 22% for your allies. You know, it's not a big shield. It's a steady shield. But if you're pairing her up with another shielder, that's just bolstering that even more. Then we're removing that overheated joy. And honestly, I really like her skill set. I think she can play a part in many teams. We're not talking about Whale or Kraken teams, but she may find a use there somewhere. Maybe somewhere in the game. You know, what faction is she? Holy Light Parliament. She's going to be good for Holy Light Parliament, definitely. Just while we're on that factor, let's have a look at who she's going to be buffing in the likes of Holy Light Parliament. Yeah, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. There's not a huge amount of... Claude she's going to be very, very good for. Claude she's going to be fantastic for, actually. So if you've got Claude and Lele for Holy Light Parliament, that's going to be a big boost there. Elena's not going to gain too much from it. Olga needs a rework anyway. Frey is going to benefit from it greatly as well. Frey will benefit from it greatly as well. Okay, so Holy Light Parliament looking like it's getting a bit of an extra buff there from the likes of Lele. So enjoy that, especially she is free, and I think that you can use her and really push her into your team, especially if you're earlier on, guys. Don't sleep on her, just as I would say do not sleep on the likes of Daisy, but she is going to be very different than Daisy. I wouldn't use the both of them together. Or maybe you could, actually, because you're going to be extending the buffs. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, definitely a solid epic. So don't sleep on her. Don't think she's trash, because she really isn't. And I wouldn't expect them to release a trash epic hero for Chinese New Year either. So on that note, I'm going to leave that with you guys. Expect another video today as well. I've got catching up to do. So let's smash some videos out. I hope all of you have a great day, evening, wherever you are. Take care.